I am all for soulmates, and I do think they exist. I think I found my soulmate, and see, that is my barometer. Is that, do I have a soulmate? Yes, I do. So I do believe in it. My wife and I have been married 16 years, and she's, you know, she's the one. And I just got lucky. You know, I met the right person.
I think that it's not as easy as we sometimes believe when we're younger to fall in love. I think it's pretty rare. You know, you might fall in love a couple of times in your life, but maybe not as many times as you think. So when you do meet someone and you do fall in love, it's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal.
I do believe in soulmates, but I believe that there's all different types of soulmates. Yeah. I think that there can be, you know, friend soulmates and soulmates in your family and pet soulmates, you know, just people and animals. If it's going to be the pet soulmate, I threw in animals because of that one, that are meant to be in your life and teach you, and you're meant to teach. I don't know.
It is easy to be cynical about love, and that's what I liked about this script right off the bat, is that it's not cynical about love. I think it's very, very honest and very true and very human. You know, there's a lot of gray area in love, and you know, there's no right or no wrong. It's just, you know, that human experience.
I think it's like with any movie. It's great. It's great story, really. You know, and you know, the idea of having something formulaic work, I don't think it does. I don't think people respond to that. You know, when you think of the great romantic comedies like Annie Hall or Tootsie, or When Harry Met Sally or something, they were all completely surprising and offbeat and not so-called traditional, you know, boy meets girl romantic comedies. So I think that's really what makes something good.
This one in particular sort of walks that line between drama and comedy, and you know, you want it to be funny and you want it to, you know, to have emotional moments as well, but you don't want to feel like you're manipulating anybody. And I think you can have it both ways. I think you can have something that's dramatic and serious, but still, you know, have some humor on the other side of it and surrounding it. So I don't think people ever feel like in watching this movie that they're, you know, that we demand that you feel a certain, that we elicit a certain emotion from you. I think it's more buying into the characters and hoping that's what, you know, that's what involves you.
I mean, what was really interesting was just the exploration of a long-term marriage and what happens when people do become disengaged or disenfranchised from one another, and how you figure out what your next step is going to be. I think it's rare to see that in a film, and even rarer to see it explored comedically.
I think he's an interesting character because he's a guy who has had his head in the sand for a while and has become complacent and sort of just hasn't been trying. And has kind of let himself go and let himself drift. And he's, I guess I describe him as someone who is existing as opposed to living life. So that was intriguing to me. And he needs the rug pulled out from under him to figure out some changes he needs to make.
I think when you're an actor, clothes that really help you to find a character. They change how you feel about yourself, and they change how you move and how you are. So I think that they're an important tool.
I mean, he's such a ladies' man, and his clothing is very cutting edge, and his character sort of ushers me through this makeover, and I go from baggy pleated khakis to very form-fitting suits and very nicely tailored clothes. And what's interesting, the clothes, I think, are sort of a metaphor to me, at least in terms of my character, that here's a guy who's let himself go and has not put any thought at all into his appearance or his clothes. And he gets all these new clothes in this makeover, and it doesn't change who he is, but it gets him to start thinking about his own self-esteem and what he's been missing in life.
If someone's going to take your comedic virginity, you'd want it to be Steve Carrell.
My first moment was everybody's first moment in Is it Anchorman? Was it yeah? Or no, it wasn't Anchorman. It was Evan Almighty, Bruce Almighty, which was the one where he played the guy. You know, I don't remember the movie. I just remember him, where he plays the anchorman that goes berserk, And I can remember watching the movie with my family. I was like, oh, who is that guy? Oh my God, I'd never seen anything like it. And I literally can't remember anything else in the movie but him. So, I mean, I think that was it. And I'm a huge fan of The Office, and so I'd seen, you know, a lot of that. And he's just a really, really wonderful actor.
I mean, he makes everything you do funny, so I'm not sure if I learned anything about, I didn't learn how to do that, and if I went to work on another comedy, I don't think I would be able to do it. So, but what I did learn from him was this kind of, he's just an amazing guy, you know. The way that he balances his career, and he produced the film, he starred in it. He also would leave work halfway through the day because his kid had a soccer practice or he had to go to a school play or something. So he's just the best.
Sometimes you can look like you're having fun and it's just a bunch of really good actors not having fun. But I think in this case it was a bunch of really good actors who thoroughly enjoyed each other and the experience. I mean, and the fact that I was a producer on this and got to help cast it, and it was very rewarding that everybody we asked wanted to be in the movie. When you get your first choices on every character, that's a pretty good sign that you're onto something.
It was amazing. I mean, it was wonderful. I think being part of a cast that can be classified as an ensemble is as an ensemble cast is really nice. It's nice to be a part of something and, you know, not feel like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, or like you have, you know, it's nice to be a cog, yeah, I guess, in a way, in life.
I think it was just, you know, there's a scene at the end of the movie where everybody's in the backyard, and that was just fun because it was nice to be with everybody.
A fair amount. There were things that were scripted for sure, but they let us do a lot of improv, which was nice. And when I remember back to seeing the movie, I believe that they kept a fair amount of that in. So. Yeah,
a lot of that stuff on that night was improvised.
Many times with a choreographer. We did it out on a back lot at WB. There was a big crash pad. We did it again and again. We did it in the audition room. And then we did it on the day, and I had a panic attack. I think the crash pad took away something, but I had broken both of my wrists when I was a kid. Both my elbow. I broke both my arms when I was a kid, falling off a parallel bar. And so something about being lifted over his head and being like this made me feel like I was going to break my arms again.